welcome to my channel, where today we dive deep into the unseen world of the Mariana Trench, uncovering the mysteries of its most elusive and eerie creatures. Beneath the waves, in a place so deep and silent that it seems almost beyond the reach of reality, lies a world that few have seen and even fewer understand. The Mariana Trench, a vast, sunless chasm that plunges into the heart of the earth. It is a place where the pressure is so immense it would crush an ordinary man in an instant, where the cold cuts like a blade, and where light, that precious gift from the sun, does not dare to venture. The abyss calls to us, a whispering invitation to explore the unknown. But what is it like to journey into such an alien world, where every sense is overwhelmed by darkness and every breath of air is filled with the weight of 1,000 oceans? There is no sunlight here, no warmth, no color. Only the crushing silence of an eternal night. Yet even in this forsaken realm, life persists. What creatures call this place home? What does it mean to survive in a world of eternal darkness, where every moment is a battle for existence? As we descend, the ocean's surface, the world we know, fades away. The light dims, and the temperature drops with every passing second. We are now in the abyss, where silence reigns and the pressure of the world above presses down on us with an unforgiving force. In these depths, the creatures that survive have evolved to become something otherworldly, their very forms shaped by the extreme conditions of their environment. Here, in this alien landscape, evolution has created beings that we might not even recognize as life at all. In the pitch-black void, they have learned to communicate without sound, to move without sight. They have become masters of their domain, adapting in ways that seem unimaginable. The Mariana Trench is not just a physical space. It is a world unto itself, untouched by human hands, a place where the laws of nature are both written and rewritten in the dark. Yet it is a place that is slowly yielding its secrets to us as scientists, explorers, and machines descend deeper and deeper into its depths, seeking to uncover its mysteries. But there are still corners of this abyss that remain unexplored, places where no human eye has ever seen, where no light has ever shone. What secrets lie there, waiting to be discovered? What wonders, what terrors lurk in the deep? And so, we are left with a question that haunts the very core of our being. What is the nature of life in the abyss? What is it like to live in a place so dark, so cold, that it seems almost impossible to imagine anything surviving? Yet here, in this unforgiving landscape, life does survive, and it thrives in ways that defy our understanding. The creatures of the trench are not mere survivors. They are masters of their world. They have learned to live in silence, to hunt in darkness, to communicate without words. Their bodies have adapted to the crushing pressure and the freezing cold of the deep, and they have found ways to navigate this world that would seem impossible to us. In the face of the overwhelming odds, they have forged a life in the depths. As we descend deeper still, we enter a world where time itself seems to slow. The further we go, the more we realize that this is a place apart from the rest of the world, a realm of pure silence and isolation. Here, the creatures that live in the trench are not just survivors. They are a testament to the resilience of life itself. But there is much we do not know about this place, much that remains hidden in the shadows. What does it mean to live in the absence of light, to survive in a world where the very concept of day and night does not exist? As we continue our journey into the heart of the Mariana Trench, we are left to wonder, what lies beneath the surface of this vast, mysterious abyss? As we plunge deeper, the darkness envelops us, swallowing the last traces of the sun's dying light. There is no turning back now. The ocean around us is a vast, endless blackness, a vast emptiness, save for the occasional flicker of bioluminescent life, the faintest glimmer of an organism that has mastered the art of surviving in this inhospitable realm. These glowing flashes are like brief, ethereal whispers from the abyss, fleeting and almost imperceptible, yet they signal that life exists in this world, in its most extraordinary form. Every inch we descend carries us further into the unknown. The pressure builds, unimaginable to human experience. We are now over 35,000 feet below the surface, and the weight of the water above is staggering. At this depth, the ocean's immense force would crush almost anything. Yet here, in the Mariana Trench, there are creatures that not only survive, but thrive. How? What extraordinary adaptations have they made? How have they reconciled their very existence with the unyielding pressure and cold that surrounds them? In this oppressive silence, our senses are heightened. There is nothing but the weight of the water and the slow, steady rhythm of our breath. The trench is a place that few will ever visit in their lifetimes, yet through the marvels of technology, we are granted a rare glimpse into its hidden depths. But even as we explore, it is impossible not to feel the vastness of this underwater world, a place that feels timeless and unchanging. It is as though we have entered a different realm altogether, a place outside of time and space, a place where life persists not by chance, but by the will to survive against all odds. Here, in the pitch-black depths, we encounter life forms so alien that they seem like nothing we have ever imagined. Creatures with bodies built to withstand the unimaginable pressures of the deep. Strange, translucent beings with glowing, pulsating lights. But even in this alien world, the struggle for survival remains the same. Each creature, each organism, must find its place in the food chain, must carve out a living in a place where few could survive. And yet, despite the harshness of this world, there is a strange beauty to it. The abyss, though silent and void of warmth, is a place of wonder. The creatures that live here are unlike any others on Earth. Beautiful, eerie, and strange, they remind us of the infinite possibilities of life. It is as though the trench, in its stillness and solitude, has become a laboratory of nature, where life has evolved in ways we could never have predicted. But even as we witness the beauty of this hidden world, we cannot escape the eerie feeling that the trench is a place of ultimate mystery. There are parts of this abyss that remain unexplored, places where we cannot yet reach, where the secrets of the deep are still hidden from our eyes. What lies there in the darkest corners of the trench? What truths are locked away in this silent, sunless world? What does the Mariana Trench still hold? As we make our descent, we realize that the abyss is not just a physical space. It is a metaphor for something deeper. It is a symbol of the unknown, a reminder of how little we truly understand about the world beneath us. The trench is a place where silence reigns, where only the bravest, the most curious, dare to venture. It is a place where every discovery is a step into the darkness, a journey into the deepest, most mysterious corners of our planet. The Mariana Trench is not just a frontier of exploration. It is a reminder of how much we have yet to learn. Each new discovery in the trench brings with it more questions than answers. What does it mean to explore the unknown? What does it mean to uncover secrets that have been hidden for millennia? The trench, with its unfathomable depths and untold mysteries, challenges our understanding of the world. But as we look down into the abyss, we are filled with a sense of awe. For though the Mariana Trench is a place of darkness and isolation, it is also a place of life, strange, beautiful, and resilient life. And perhaps in this silent, sunless world, we are witnessing not just the survival of species, but the triumph of life itself over the odds. The silence of the Mariana Trench is not merely the absence of sound. It is a presence unto itself, a heavy, unbroken stillness that stretches into infinity. Here, in the depths, time seems irrelevant, as if the very concept of time is discarded in the face of the abyss. There is no rush, no ticking clock. The trench is a world outside of the human experience, a world where the seconds fall away like drops of water lost in the vastness of the ocean. It is a place where every movement, every breath, is held in the grasp of the unknown. The creatures that thrive in the depths of the Mariana Trench are not bound by the same rules that govern life on the surface. They have adapted in unimaginable ways, carving out existence in a world so alien, so inhospitable, that survival here seems impossible. Yet they live, they endure, they flourish in the darkness where no human eye has ever seen them. These creatures are not simply survivors. They are the embodiments of resilience, of life's unyielding will to persist, no matter the odds. With their translucent bodies, their glowing, otherworldly features, they are not just adapting, they are transforming. In the absence of light, they have become something other than what we understand. They are not bound by sight, by sound, by the physical constraints of the world we know. In the trench, they exist on a plane of existence that we can only begin to fathom. Their lives are marked not by the familiar rhythms of day and night, but by the pulse of the ocean itself, by the unspoken, secret language of the deep. And yet, despite the beauty of this dark, silent world, there is an undeniable sense of fragility that lingers. In this abyss, creatures do not live without cost. The pressure, the cold, the crushing weight of the water, they are constant reminders of the harsh reality of life in the deep. For every creature that thrives, there are many more that do not. The trench, with all its mysteries, is also a place of survival at its rawest, most primal form. Here, in the deep, survival is not a gift. It is a struggle, a constant fight for life in an environment that demands everything from its inhabitants. And yet, even in the darkest corners of this world, there is hope. The creatures of the Mariana Trench, though isolated and alone, are a testament to the resilience of life. They find ways to live, to communicate, to survive, even when it seems that all the odds are against them. They are a reminder that even in the most inhospitable environments, life will find a way to endure. And perhaps, in this struggle for survival, we can find a reflection of our own journey, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, life persists, not because it is easy, but because it is relentless. The abyss calls to us, inviting us to explore its secrets, to uncover the mysteries that lie hidden in its depths. But as we dive deeper into this silent world, we cannot help but wonder, what lies beyond the reaches of human exploration? What truths remain hidden in the darkness? What secrets does the trench hold? Secrets that may change our understanding of life itself. As we continue our journey, the trench begins to reveal its quiet majesty. It is not a place of doom and desolation, as we may have once thought, but a world brimming with life, with stories yet to be told. The abyss is not merely a void, it is a sanctuary for life, a realm where the rules of nature are bent and reshaped by the forces of the deep. Every creature, from the smallest shrimp to the largest deep-sea fish, plays its part in the delicate balance of this undersea world. But what of the future? As we descend further into the unknown, we are left with a sense of wonder and anticipation. What awaits us at the bottom of this vast, uncharted abyss? What creatures, what landscapes, what revelations lie hidden in the darkest depths? The trench is a place where the boundaries of the known world dissolve, where the familiar becomes unfamiliar, and where the only certainty is that there is more to discover. And so, we continue on into the heart of the abyss. For though we may never fully understand the Mariana Trench, the call of the deep will always draw us in, urging us to uncover its secrets, to learn from its creatures, to witness the beauty and resilience of life in its most extreme form. We may never reach the bottom of the trench, but with each descent, we come closer to understanding not only this hidden world, but the mysteries of life itself. In the depths, the trench stretches out like an endless chasm, an oceanic canyon carved by the forces of time and pressure. Yet it is not only the physical form of the trench that captivates us, it is the sensation of being a mere speck in its vast expanse. Here, the ocean feels infinite, an eternal world beyond our comprehension. The trench is more than just a geological feature. It's an invitation to explore the limits of existence itself. It is a realm where we are not the masters, but the intruders, peering into the dark corners of life, seeking to understand the ways in which creatures have adapted to a world so alien, so extreme. And still, the abyss calls to us. There is something profoundly humbling about descending into the Mariana Trench. It is not a descent of distance alone, but one of perspective. With each passing meter, we are reminded of our fragility, of how small we are in the grand scheme of Earth's history. In the dark, we lose ourselves, not to fear, but to awe, to marvel at how life persists in a place that seems impossible for it to exist. It is here, in the crushing blackness, that nature's creativity shines brightest. The creatures that inhabit this realm have been forged by millennia of adaptation. They are not just strange, they are perfect for their world. Creatures like the giant amoeba, stretching across the ocean floor, undisturbed by the turmoil above. The deep-sea anglerfish, its glowing lure a beacon in the blackness, calling to its prey as it drifts through the water. They are beings of paradox, thriving in a place where nothing else could live. Their very bodies have adapted to withstand the suffocating pressure, the intense cold, and the complete absence of light. The trench is their sanctuary, and it has shaped them in ways that the surface world can never fully comprehend. We begin to understand in these moments of quiet observation that the Mariana Trench is more than just a place. It is a way of being, a philosophy of survival. Here, in this deep, we learn that existence is not about fighting against the odds, but rather about embracing them. These creatures have not defied nature. They have become one with it. They exist as part of the rhythm of the trench, each one intricately woven into the fabric of the abyss. And as we look deeper, As our descent continues, we are left with questions that echo through the silent waters. How did these creatures evolve in such isolation? What is the force that binds them to the trench? And how do they survive without the sunlight that sustains life elsewhere? What does it mean to live in a world where survival is defined not by what we have, but by what we have learned to live without? In the depths of the Mariana Trench, we are reminded that life, no matter how fragile, is an expression of adaptation. It is a dance of evolution that plays out on a grand scale, unnoticed by most of humanity. And though we are mere observers in this world, there is something profoundly intimate about being here, about sharing this space with these strange, resilient creatures. The trench, silent and still, reveals to us the immense power of life, not in its ability to conquer, but in its capacity to endure, to evolve, and to adapt to even the most extreme of environments. This is not just a world of darkness. It is a world of light, though not in the way we expect. In the trench, bioluminescence pulses like stars in the sky, tiny sparks of life amidst the deep. Each flicker is a testament to the energy that flows through the darkness, an enduring symbol of nature's ability to shine, even when all seems lost. And in those fleeting moments of glow, we realize that the trench, with all its mysteries, is not empty. It is alive, thriving in a way that cannot be understood by our surface-bound minds. As we finally reach the bottom, where no human has ever ventured before, we come face to face with the trench's true nature. It is not a void, a barren wasteland. It is a world that exists on its own terms, where creatures have made their homes, their lives, in ways that challenge every assumption we have about the boundaries of existence. Here, the trench is not a place of darkness and isolation. It is a place of unity, of life, bound together by the shared rhythms of the deep. And though we have reached the depths, there is a part of us that feels we have only scratched the surface. There is more to learn, more to understand. The abyss remains a place of boundless wonder, a mystery that defies our need for answers. The Mariana Trench, in its profound silence, reminds us that some things are meant to remain unseen, and perhaps that is where their true beauty lies. In the unfathomable blackness of the Mariana Trench, a profound truth begins to unfold. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we truly know. The deeper we descend, the greater the sense of awe that consumes us. What we are witnessing here is not just a geological wonder, but a testament to the endurance of life itself. The trench is not merely the deepest place on Earth. It is a hidden world that, for all its remoteness and mystery, pulses with vitality. The creatures we encounter here are not like anything we see on the surface. Their bioluminescence flickers like the stars in the night sky, beacons of life in a place where no light has ever touched. They are alive in ways that challenge our understanding of the very essence of existence. Every inch of the trench is teeming with strange beauty. Creatures thriving in an environment so harsh it would break even the most resilient beings on the surface. But here, in the dark depths, they have found their niche. They have learned the delicate art of survival, each one a master of its craft. The trench is their kingdom, a kingdom where life, despite all odds, refuses to be extinguished. But what is it that binds them together in this vast, silent realm? What invisible thread connects each of these creatures, these floating islands of life, to one another? The answers, perhaps, are hidden within the very nature of the trench. The immense pressure, the cold that bites at the very marrow of life, these forces should be the end of all things, but they are the architects of life in the deep. In the trench, life has not merely adapted, it has become something entirely new. It has evolved in ways we cannot fully comprehend, creating creatures that are as much a mystery to us as the trench itself. And yet, as we look upon these strange beings, we are struck by their resilience. It is not enough to merely survive here. Life in the trench must be a constant, delicate balance. The creatures here are not fighting for survival in the way we think of survival on land. They are not at war with the elements. They are one with them. The trench has shaped them, molded them into beings that reflect the profound, patient forces of nature. They are the perfect embodiment of the trench, as ancient and unyielding as the ocean floor beneath our feet. But with each passing moment, we find ourselves asking, what does this teach us? What can we learn from these silent, glowing creatures that call this world home? What does it mean to thrive in such an alien, impossible environment? And in what ways are we, as humans, like these creatures? What have we forgotten about our own resilience, our own ability to adapt, to endure, to evolve? The Mariana Trench, with all its darkness and mystery, invites us to reflect on life itself. It is not simply a place of unknown creatures and untouched waters. It is a reminder of the power of nature's design, a call to acknowledge the limits of our knowledge. It is a world that has existed for millions of years, untouched by the hands of human exploration, and yet it remains a part of us, linked to the very foundation of life on Earth. As we journey further, deeper still, we realize that this exploration is not just about uncovering the secrets of the abyss. It is about understanding our place within it. For as much as we may wish to conquer the trench, to master its depths, we are reminded that there are places in this world that will remain beyond our reach. The trench is not ours to control, but ours to witness, to learn from. And perhaps, in that quiet reflection, we find the true beauty of the abyss, not in its creatures, not in its darkness, but in the profound humility it offers. And so, we leave the depths behind, but not without a lingering sense of wonder, of awe. The trench has changed us. It has revealed to us a world beyond our understanding, a world where survival is not about overcoming the impossible, but about embracing the impossible. The creatures of the Mariana Trench have shown us what it means to live on the edge of existence, to thrive not by defying the forces of nature, but by becoming part of them. In the silent dark, the trench holds its secrets close, but we too have changed. We carry with us the echoes of this world, silent, eternal, profound, deep within us. The abyss has whispered its truth, and we are left to wonder, what does it truly mean to survive in a world so far removed from everything we know? In the depths, perhaps the answer is simpler than we think. To survive is not simply to endure. It is to become part of the world around us, to adapt, to evolve, and to live in harmony with the darkness. As we surface, the call of the abyss fades into memory, but its presence lingers, a reminder that some mysteries are meant to remain just that, mysterious, uncharted, untold. Yet in this silence, there is a beauty we cannot forget. There, in the deepest place on earth, we find a reflection of life itself, fragile, mysterious, and ever resilient. In the Mariana Trench, silence is not a mere absence of sound. It is a living, breathing force. Here, the vastness of the ocean creates a quiet so profound it becomes almost tangible, a weight pressing against the soul. As we venture deeper into the trench, the silence is almost overwhelming, enveloping us in a way that feels otherworldly. The world above, with its bustling life, its ceaseless movement, feels distant, a dream fading into the past. Here, there is only stillness, a stillness that stretches beyond the limits of human comprehension. It is a silence that feels eternal, untouched by the sounds of civilization or the rhythms of life that define the surface world. There is no rush here, no honking horns, no murmur of conversation, no laughter echoing through the air. It is the silence of the abyss, a quiet that stretches deeper than the ocean itself. Yet in this oppressive stillness, life flourishes. How can this be? How can life persist in a place where sound is scarce, where the very essence of communication seems to be lost in the void? In this part of the trench, life must speak without words. Without the comforting vibrations of sound, the creatures of the deep have developed their own forms of communication. Bioluminescence flickers across the pitch-black waters, a delicate dance of light and shadow that signals to others in the abyss. These creatures, born in darkness, speak not with their voices, but with their bodies, with the faintest pulses of light. In a world where sight itself is a rare commodity, these glowing beacons become the language of the deep, a silent conversation that plays out in the dark. The creatures of the trench have learned to communicate in ways that defy our understanding. Without the need for sound, they have adapted to a world where silence is their only companion. Some, like the anglerfish, use their bioluminescent lures to attract prey, drawing in the unwary with their eerie, glowing bait. Others use their light to ward off predators, sending signals of warning in the pitch-black night. It is a language that requires no words, no noise, only light, a language that is as ancient as the trench itself. And yet, even in this world of light and darkness, there is something eerily beautiful about the silence. It is a silence that is not empty, but full of meaning, full of purpose, full of life. For in the absence of sound, life has found its own way to be heard. It is as if the trench, in all its vast emptiness, has become a stage for a symphony of light, a quiet performance played out in the dark. But there is something else in the silence, something that cannot be fully understood until you experience it. It is the stillness of the unknown, the feeling of being a tiny observer in a world that has existed for millions of years, unseen and unheard. The silence of the trench is not just the absence of noise. It is the presence of something far more profound. It is the silence of a world that has been untouched by human hands, a world where life has been allowed to evolve and thrive without interference, without the noise of our existence. As we descend further, the pressure increases and the cold deepens. The silence becomes more intense, more profound, until it feels as if time itself has stopped. The weight of the ocean above presses down on us, but it is not the pressure that we feel most acutely. It is the silence, the overwhelming sense of isolation that surrounds us. Here, in the deepest part of the trench, there is no escape from the stillness. There is only the relentless, unbroken quiet, a reminder of how far removed we are from the world we know. But even in this silence, there is beauty. The creatures that inhabit this dark world have adapted to the lack of sound, to the absence of light, and they thrive in ways that seem impossible. The deep-sea creatures of the Mariana Trench are not just survivors. They are the embodiment of nature's ability to adapt, to find a way to live even in the most inhospitable of environments. In a world where light is a luxury and sound is a rarity, they have learned to communicate with their bodies, to navigate the depths with their senses attuned to the quiet vibrations of the water. In the silence of the trench, life has become a quiet dance. Every movement is deliberate, every action is measured, and every encounter is a subtle conversation between creatures of the deep. There is no rush here, no frantic chase. Life in the trench is slow, deliberate, and peaceful, as though time itself moves differently in this abyssal world. The creatures have no need for the noise that fills our world. They are attuned to a different rhythm, one that echoes through the silent waters. And yet, in the stillness, there is something more. The silence of the trench is a reminder of the fragility of life. For all the adaptations, all the ways in which these creatures have learned to survive, there is still a vulnerability beneath the surface. The trench is a world of extremes where every creature must constantly fight for survival, not against predators, but against the very forces of nature itself. The pressure, the cold, the lack of light, these are the true enemies of the trench. And yet life continues to persist quietly, resiliently, against all odds. As we continue our descent, the silence grows even more profound, and we are left with the haunting realization that we are intruding upon something sacred. The trench is not a place to be conquered or understood fully. It is a place to be experienced, to be felt, to be left in awe of. In the silence of the abyss, we are reminded of the limits of our knowledge, of how little we truly understand about the world beneath our feet. We are mere visitors here, granted a rare glimpse into a world that has existed for eons, untouched by time and by human hands. And as we approach the very bottom of the trench, the quiet becomes overwhelming, a deafening stillness that presses against us from all sides. But it is not an oppressive silence. It is a peaceful one, a serene quiet that seems to have no end, no beginning. The trench, in all its darkness and isolation, has revealed its most profound truth, that silence is not the absence of life, but the foundation upon which life is built. Here, in the deepest parts of the world, life thrives, not in spite of the silence, but because of it. As we venture deeper into the abyss, the water around us feels heavier. The pressure increases, yet it is not just the weight of the ocean that we are aware of. It is the overwhelming quiet, the deep and unyielding stillness that consumes everything. There's a profound sense of being small, almost insignificant in the vastness of the trench. The silence is not oppressive, but it is profound. A silence that is not empty, but filled with the rhythm of the deep. This quiet is unlike anything we experience on the surface. It is not simply the absence of sound, but a living, breathing force in its own right. It wraps itself around us, filling the spaces between our thoughts, forcing us to confront the fact that we are far removed from the familiar sounds of the world we know. Here, there are no birds calling in the distance, no wind rustling through the trees, no gentle waves lapping at the shore. There is only the silent, steady pulse of the ocean, a pulse that has endured for millions of years. But within this stillness, there is life, strange, elusive, and beautiful life. It is as though the trench, in all its isolation, has become a world unto itself, a world where the rules of the surface no longer apply. The creatures that live here have adapted in extraordinary ways to this silent world. They have learned to communicate without sound, to hunt without sight, and to survive without the warmth of the sun. Their existence is a testament to the power of adaptation, to the incredible ways in which life will find a way, even in the most extreme of environments. For the creatures of the trench, the absence of sound is not a hindrance, it is a necessity. In a world where communication through sound is impossible, they have learned to communicate in other ways. The anglerfish, for instance, uses its glowing lure to attract prey in the dark waters of the trench. It is a silent invitation to the unwary, a flash of light in a world where light is a rare and precious commodity. In this silent world, light becomes the language of the deep, a language that is understood by all who live there. But bioluminescence is not the only form of communication in the trench. Many creatures have developed other ways of interacting with their environment. Some creatures rely on the faintest vibrations in the water to sense the movements of other beings. Others rely on the subtle changes in water pressure, the delicate shifts in the surrounding currents, to navigate their dark world. These creatures, born in the depths, have become attuned to the rhythms of the abyss, responding to the quiet cues of the ocean in ways that seem almost otherworldly. In the trench, sound has been replaced by something far more refined, the language of light, of motion, of pressure. These creatures, like the trench itself, have become part of a silent, living ecosystem, a web of interactions that is invisible to the human eye. And yet, it is no less real for its invisibility. The trench is a world of delicate balances where every creature has a role to play, where every movement is part of the intricate choreography of survival. But even in this strange, silent world, there are dangers. The trench may be a place of profound quiet, but it is also a place of extremes, where pressure, cold, and isolation are the ever-present realities. The creatures that call this place home must navigate these dangers every day. For some, survival is a constant struggle, an ongoing fight against the overwhelming forces of nature that threaten to overwhelm them. But even in the face of such adversity, life persists. It is not just a matter of survival, it is a matter of thriving, of finding a way to flourish in the most impossible of conditions. And in this silent, dark world, life has found a way to do just that. The trench is not a barren wasteland. It is a thriving, living ecosystem where creatures of all shapes and sizes have carved out their existence. From the smallest shrimp glowing faintly in the dark to the massive creatures that swim through the depths, each one has adapted to the silent world in its own way. There is a beauty in this world, a quiet, subtle beauty that speaks not in words, but in the very existence of these creatures who have learned to live in the most extreme of environments. As we continue our descent, the silence grows deeper still. It is no longer just the absence of sound. It is a presence, a force that surrounds us, pressing against us from all sides. The trench has become a place of total stillness, a place where time seems to slow, where the world above feels like a distant memory. The creatures we encounter here are not just survivors. They are the masters of this world, their existence a testament to the power of adaptation and resilience. In the silence of the trench, we are reminded of how little we know. The abyss is vast, unknowable, and beyond our understanding. But in its depths, we also find something profound, something that speaks to the very heart of life itself. Here, in the dark and silent waters of the Mariana Trench, we are reminded of the power of nature's resilience, of the ability of life to adapt, to evolve, to thrive even in the most inhospitable of places. The trench, with its crushing silence, teaches us that survival is not about the absence of challenges, but about the ability to endure despite them. In the quiet depths, life does not fight against the forces that threaten to overwhelm it. It becomes part of them, learns to navigate them, to live with them. And perhaps in this quiet reflection, we can find a lesson for ourselves, a reminder that the true strength of life lies not in its ability to overcome the impossible, but in its capacity to live in harmony with the world around it. In the abyss of the Mariana Trench, light is a rare and fleeting thing. Yet it is within this darkness, in the absence of sunlight, that life thrives in forms unimaginable to the surface world. These creatures of the deep are not simply creatures. They are living enigmas, evolved in isolation over millions of years to become perfect adaptations to their environment. The trench, a world without light, has given birth to beings that seem like something out of a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. They are the true denizens of the dark, their very existence a testament to life's resilience in the most extreme conditions. There is a quiet beauty in the creatures of the trench. With every flicker of bioluminescence, with every pulse of light that dances across the endless dark, we catch a glimpse of a world few will ever truly understand. These glowing flashes are not merely accidents of evolution. They are the signatures of life in a place where light has no right to exist. The creatures here have mastered the art of surviving in a world that is utterly alien to us. They are born not from the warmth of the sun, but from the cold embrace of the deep ocean. One of the most remarkable adaptations we encounter in the trench is the ability to produce light. Bioluminescence is a gift given to many of the creatures here, an eerie glow that illuminates the darkness, giving life to the void. It is a survival mechanism, a way to attract mates, lure prey, or ward off predators. The anglerfish, with its hauntingly beautiful glowing lure, is perhaps the most famous of these creatures. It hangs from its forehead, a beacon in the deep, drawing prey toward it with its unearthly light. The fish waits patiently, suspended in the darkness, its glowing lure casting an almost hypnotic glow in the pitch blackness. But not all creatures of the trench rely on bioluminescence for their survival. Some, like the giant squid, move through the water with an eerie grace, their movements a silent ballet in the stillness of the abyss. The squid's ink, a dark cloud that spreads through the water like a shadow, is its defense against the predators that roam the depths. It is a creature of the night, a master of the silent world it inhabits, evading danger with swift, fluid motions that are almost imperceptible in the murky waters. Then there is the deep-sea jellyfish, a pulsating mass of translucent tissue that glows with a soft, ethereal light. This creature, like so many others in the trench, moves with an elegance that belies the harsh world around it. It is both predator and prey, a fragile being that survives not through strength, but through stealth, through its ability to move undetected in a world where the slightest sound can mean the difference between life and death. Its movements are a whisper in the dark, a ghostly presence that leaves behind a trail of light. The creatures of the Mariana Trench are strange and beautiful, yet they are also brutal survivors. Their beauty is not the kind that we are accustomed to seeing. There is no bright plumage, no dazzling colors, no fluttering wings. Instead, their beauty is in their ability to survive in a place where survival seems impossible. It is in the resilience that pulses through their veins, in the silent, steady way they navigate the dark waters, always seeking, always moving, always adapting. In the depths of the trench, life is not about the struggle for dominance, but about the delicate dance of existence. The creatures here do not seek to conquer their world. They have learned to coexist with it, to find their place in the vast, dark landscape. Some, like the translucent shrimp that scuttle across the ocean floor, scavenge what they can find. Others, like the predator-prey creatures that occupy the middle of the food chain, hunt with silent precision. And still others, like the colossal squid, live in the vast, empty space between, moving through the dark like phantoms, their every movement a testament to their mastery of the abyss. It is here, in this silent world, that we find the true meaning of survival. The creatures of the trench are not just survivors. They are the very definition of adaptation. Their bodies are shaped by the extreme conditions of the deep. Their eyes, if they have them, are large and sensitive, designed to detect even the faintest flicker of light. Their skin is thick and translucent, able to withstand the crushing pressure of the depths. And their movements are slow, deliberate, and precise, as though every action is measured, every breath calculated. Yet for all their adaptations, these creatures are fragile. The trench is not a world of abundance. The dark depths are a place where food is scarce, and every creature must fight for survival. But it is in this scarcity that life finds its strength. The creatures of the Mariana Trench do not live in excess. They live in balance, in harmony with the forces of nature that surround them. Their lives are defined by the rhythm of the deep ocean, the ebb and flow of currents, the subtle shifts in pressure, the delicate balance of light and dark. It is a life of patience, of endurance, of quiet strength. The trench is not just a place of darkness. It is a world of light, but light that is fleeting, faint, and elusive. The creatures here glow not with the brightness of the sun, but with the soft, gentle light of survival. In the depths, there is no need for brilliance. There is only the quiet glow of life, shining through the dark, a reminder that even in the deepest, most silent places on earth, life finds a way to endure. As we continue our journey into the trench, we are left to wonder, what else lies hidden in the dark? What other creatures, with their strange alien forms, are waiting to be discovered? The trench is a world of mystery, a world that has remained largely untouched by humanity. And yet, it is a world that continues to reveal its secrets, one glowing light at a time. For every creature that has been discovered, there are countless others yet to be known. The trench is not a place of finality. It is a world of endless discovery, a place where life continues to evolve, to adapt, to thrive. And as we uncover these creatures, we are reminded of the infinite possibilities of life itself. As we delve deeper into the Mariana Trench, the world around us becomes stranger, more alien. The creatures that inhabit this dark world seem to transcend everything we know about life. Their forms are not shaped by the forces of gravity and light as we understand them, but by the pressure, the cold, and the utter absence of the sun. They are creatures forged in isolation, untouched by time, existing beyond the reach of human eyes. Their very existence challenges everything we think we know about the limits of life. One of the most surreal of these creatures is the deep-sea hatchetfish. With its body as thin as a razor and its luminous sword-like tail, it seems to float effortlessly through the water. The hatchetfish's eyes, large and capable of detecting the faintest light, give it an eerie, almost otherworldly appearance, as if it is perpetually gazing into a world that no one else can see. It is a creature that thrives on the edge of visibility, barely seen by its prey, and even less so by predators. The light that glows from its body is not simply an adaptation. It is its lifeline, its shield in a world that would otherwise be invisible. Then there are the creatures like the giant squid, whose massive eyes seem to belong to something from a nightmare rather than our reality. Their tentacles stretch far into the dark waters, scanning for prey with a precision that seems almost supernatural. The squid is a master of the abyss, graceful and silent, moving with the current as though it is one with the water, a creature perfectly in tune with the pressures and movements of the deep. Its bioluminescence flickers in fleeting pulses, creating an illusion of movement, like a ghost swimming through the ocean's heart. It is in the trench that the concept of alien life begins to take on a new meaning. We speak of extraterrestrial life as if it is something that might exist light years away, on planets circling distant stars. But in truth, we need only look deeper into our own planet to see life that seems more otherworldly than anything we might encounter on a distant moon. The trench is an extraterrestrial world in its own right, a place where creatures glow with strange, beautiful light and move in ways that defy everything we know about biology and physics. And yet, despite the strange beauty of these creatures, there is an undeniable sense of danger that permeates the trench. The creatures here may have evolved in stunning ways, but their existence is still fragile. The trench is not a paradise. It is a place of constant survival, a harsh world where every movement matters, where every pulse of light could mean life or death. There are predators here, creatures whose teeth are as sharp as the abyss is deep, whose speed and stealth are unmatched in the darkness. One such predator is the monstrous gulper eel. Its unhinged jaw allows it to swallow prey much larger than itself, its wide mouth opening in a terrifying, almost alien fashion. This predator does not hunt in the conventional sense. It simply waits, lurking in the darkness, its glowing belly a beacon to the creatures that swim too close. The gulper eel's world is one of endless waiting, its jaws poised to strike in the moment between life and death. It is a reminder that in the trench, survival is a delicate balance, a constant negotiation between predator and prey, between light and dark. Despite the harshness of this environment, there is also an eerie grace to the creatures of the trench. The bioluminescence that flickers from their bodies is not only a tool for survival, it is an expression of the beauty that exists in this silent, dark world. It is as though these creatures, in their isolation, have found a way to shine in the dark, a testament to their ability to endure and to adapt in a world that offers them no mercy. They have become poets of the abyss, their bodies telling stories of survival, resilience, and transformation. And there, in the darkness, the creatures of the trench continue to evolve, continue to thrive. Their forms are as varied as the depths themselves, their strategies for survival as intricate as the currents that shape the ocean. Some use their bioluminescence to attract mates, some to lure prey, and others to defend themselves. Each flicker of light tells a story that has been unfolding in the depths of the earth for millions of years, long before humans ever set foot on this planet. Yet for all the beauty and wonder that these creatures bring, there is an undercurrent of sadness to their existence. They live in a world so alien to us that we can only observe them from a distance, never truly understanding what it is like to be them. Their lives are defined by the struggle for survival, not in the sense of a fierce, chaotic battle, but in a quiet, unrelenting persistence. They do not fight for dominance, but for existence. They do not seek to conquer the abyss. They seek only to endure. This is the true lesson of the trench, that life does not always conquer. Sometimes it simply survives. It adapts. It finds a way to exist, not in spite of the odds, but because of them. The creatures of the Mariana Trench are not here by chance. They are here because they have learned the delicate art of surviving against all odds. They are the embodiment of resilience, the ultimate testament to life's ability to endure, to evolve, and to thrive in even the harshest conditions. As we leave this world of strange, glowing creatures behind, we are left with a sense of wonder and awe. The trench, with its mysterious inhabitants, has opened our eyes to the infinite possibilities of life. These creatures, strange and beautiful, are a reminder that life exists not in the places we expect it, but in the places we least understand. It is a reminder that even in the deepest, darkest places on Earth, life finds a way to persist. The trench is not a place of desolation. It is a place of life. It is a place where creatures have learned to live in the darkest, most extreme conditions. And it is here, in the silent depths, that we begin to understand the true nature of survival. In the depths of the Mariana Trench, survival is not simply a matter of living. It is a calculated, intricate dance, one where every movement is a measured response to the forces of the deep. Here, in this hidden world, survival takes on a new meaning. It is not about conquering the elements. It is about adapting to them, becoming one with the abyss. Life in the trench is not a fight for dominance, but a quiet negotiation between creature and environment, where every decision, every flicker of light or pulse of movement carries immense consequences. The creatures that dwell in these depths are masters of survival. To exist in such a world requires more than just physical adaptations. It requires an intimate knowledge of the environment, an understanding of how to move with the current, how to find sustenance in a place where food is scarce, and how to avoid the predators that lurk just beyond sight. The trench is not a world of abundance. It is a world of survival, where every organism must carve out its own existence, relying on the extraordinary adaptations that have been honed over millions of years. In this world, pressure is not just a physical force. It is a constant companion. At this depth, the weight of the ocean above is so great that it could crush the fragile frame of any creature from the surface. And yet, the creatures of the trench do not just endure this pressure. They thrive in it. Their bodies are built to withstand the immense force, their structures strengthened by the very pressures that would destroy life elsewhere. The deep sea creatures are not fragile. They are the very opposite. They're resilient, their forms designed to endure the unyielding forces of the ocean. But pressure is not the only challenge in the trench. The temperature is another. The waters here hover just above freezing, a cold that would render any surface creature immobile in an instant. Yet the trench's inhabitants have learned not just to survive the cold, but to harness it. The creatures that live here are not merely adapted to the chill, they are designed by it. Their bodies are insulated, their metabolism slow, their processes calibrated to make the most of the scarce energy that is available. In the deep, nothing goes to waste. But perhaps the most remarkable adaptation in the trench is the ability to live without light. To survive in total darkness, where the only source of illumination is the faint glow of bioluminescence, is a feat that seems almost beyond comprehension. And yet, in this world, creatures have learned to navigate without the use of sight. They have developed a keen sense of their surroundings, relying on vibrations in the water, on the subtle shifts in pressure, on the faintest hints of light to navigate their environment. These creatures do not need to see, they feel, they sense, they react to the quiet rhythms of the deep. One of the most astonishing of these adaptations is the ability to hunt without sight. The trench. The competition for food is fierce, and the creatures that inhabit these depths must be skilled hunters if they are to survive. But hunting in the dark, in a world where vision is of no use, requires an entirely different set of skills. Creatures like the vampire squid have developed an uncanny ability to locate prey through the faintest vibrations in the water, using their sensitive tentacles to detect even the slightest movement. They do not need to see their prey. They simply feel it, moving through the dark like a shadow, an echo in the water. Similarly, the gulper eel, one of the trench's most fearsome predators, uses a combination of sensory adaptations to locate its next meal. The gulper eel's enormous mouth can open wide enough to engulf prey much larger than itself, and its acute sense of vibrations helps it detect the slightest ripple in the water. The eel can strike with lightning speed, its jaws snapping shut in the dark with a precision that seems almost instinctual. This is a world where light does not guide the predator. It is the darkness itself that teaches them to hunt. But survival in the trench is not just about hunting. It is also about knowing when to hide, when to wait, when to move in silence. The creatures of the trench have perfected the art of patience. Take, for example, the deep-sea anglerfish, which does not actively chase down its prey. Instead, it lures its victims into range with a glowing lure that hangs from its head, glowing softly in the deep darkness. It waits, suspended in the water, its bait drawing prey closer. When the time is right, it strikes with a remarkable speed, capturing its prey with a sudden, swift movement. In the trench, survival is about timing, about knowing when to act and when to remain still. In many ways, the trench teaches us that survival is not about brute force. It is about subtlety, strategy, and adaptation. The creatures here have evolved to become perfect predators, perfect survivors, not because they are faster or stronger than their prey, but because they have learned to work with the darkness. They have become one with the forces of the deep, moving with the current, thriving in the shadows. But even in this world of perfect adaptation, there are dangers. The trench is a place of deadly extremes where survival is a constant battle against the forces of nature. Predators hunt, scavengers scuttle, and every creature is forced to adapt or perish. The trench is a place where death is not sudden, but inevitable. It is a place where every creature lives knowing that survival is a temporary victory, and that the forces of nature are always at work, shaping the course of their lives. Yet despite the constant threat of danger, there is an undeniable beauty in the trench's survival. The creatures of the deep are not merely enduring the abyss, they are thriving in it. They have learned to move within the pressures and the cold, to hunt and hide, to live in a world where light is a luxury and silence is the only soundtrack. They are not just surviving, they are living, adapting, evolving in ways that are both unimaginable and awe-inspiring. The trench, in all its harshness, reveals to us the true meaning of resilience. It is not about fighting against the world around us. It is about learning to live in harmony with it. The creatures of the Mariana Trench have found their place in this dark, silent world, not by defying the odds, but by understanding them, by becoming a part of them. And in that understanding, they have found the key to survival. As we ascend from the depths, leaving the creatures of the trench behind, we are left with a sense of awe, not just for the creatures we have encountered, but for the world they inhabit. The trench is not simply a place of survival. It is a testament to the power of nature's design. It is a reminder that life, no matter how harsh the conditions, will always find a way to endure. And perhaps, in that endurance, there is a deeper truth, that survival, in its purest form, is not about conquering the world. It is about learning to live with it. As our journey into the depths of the Mariana Trench reaches its final chapter, we are left with a profound sense of wonder. The abyss has revealed its secrets to us. Some are visible, glowing in the deep. Others remain hidden, elusive, lurking in the silent darkness. But as we rise from the depths, we are reminded that there is so much more beneath the surface, so much more that remains unseen, just beyond our reach. The trench is a world unto itself, a place that exists beyond the confines of our understanding, and yet it is an inseparable part of our planet. The Mariana Trench is not just a physical location, it is a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that there are still places on Earth where mystery thrives. While we may have explored the surface of the world, there are still corners of our planet that remain untouched, uncharted, hidden from our eyes. The trench, at its deepest point, lies nearly 36,000 feet below sea level. Even now, as technology advances, there are parts of this abyss that we cannot reach, depths that remain entirely unexplored. The trench is a world of secrets, a place where life exists in ways that challenge our very understanding of biology, where each new discovery is met with awe and wonder. And yet, as we leave the trench behind, we cannot help but wonder, what lies in the parts of the trench we have yet to discover? What creatures, what ecosystems are still waiting to be found in the darkest corners of the abyss? The trench is a place where the boundaries of life are constantly being pushed, a place where new forms of existence are born with every descent into the deep. There are creatures down there, we know, that have never been seen by human eyes, creatures that have adapted in ways we can barely comprehend. And perhaps there are still new species waiting to be discovered, living in the darkness where no light can penetrate. The abyss is a place of profound silence, but in that silence, there is a deep resonance, a kind of communication that passes beyond our human understanding. The creatures of the trench, though silent in the traditional sense, are constantly interacting with each other, with their environment, with the very forces of nature that shape their world. Every flicker of bioluminescence, every movement of a predator stalking its prey, every subtle shift in the currents tells a story that we are only beginning to understand. The trench is not simply a place of survival. It is a living, breathing entity, a world in which every creature, every organism plays a role in the delicate dance of existence. In the depths, life is not isolated. It is interconnected, interdependent, each creature a small but integral part of a much larger whole. The trench is not just a collection of individual species. It is a complex, dynamic ecosystem where everything from the smallest shrimp to the largest predator is part of an intricate web of life. And though this ecosystem is hidden from view, it is no less real, no less important than the ecosystems that thrive on the surface of the earth. The trench, in its quiet, invisible way, is just as vibrant and full of life as the forests and oceans we can see and touch. As we emerge from the depths, the trench begins to fade into memory, a place of darkness, mystery, and wonder. Yet its influence lingers. The creatures we have encountered, the strange glowing fish, the eerie squid, the ancient translucent beings, are not just inhabitants of the abyss. They are living testaments to the resilience of life itself. They remind us that life, in all its forms, is capable of adapting, evolving, and surviving in the most extreme of conditions. The trench is not just a world of survival. It is a world of evolution, a world where the forces of nature shape life in ways that are beyond our understanding. The Mariana Trench is also a reminder of the vastness of the unknown. In a world where we often feel as though we have explored every corner of the earth, the trench serves as a stark reminder that there are still places we have never seen, still mysteries we have yet to uncover. The abyss is not just a physical space. It is a metaphor for the unknown, for all the things we have yet to learn, all the wonders we have yet to witness. It is a reminder that no matter how much we think we know, there is always more to discover. As our exploration of the trench concludes, we are left with more questions than answers. What other secrets does the trench hold? What other wonders lie hidden in its depths, waiting to be uncovered? We may never know. The trench, in all its vastness and mystery, will remain a world apart, a place that exists not for our understanding, but for the creatures that call it home. It is a place where the unknown is not a challenge to be conquered, but a mystery to be respected. A world where silence reigns and life thrives despite the odds. But perhaps, in the silence of the trench, we can find something more. Perhaps in this unseen world, there's a deeper understanding of life itself, a reminder that the most profound things are often the ones we cannot see, the ones we cannot fully understand. The Mariana Trench, with all its darkness and mystery, is not just a place of life. It is a place of truth. Truth about the resilience of life, about the forces of nature that shape our world, and about the vastness of the unknown that still surrounds us. And so, as we leave the trench behind, we carry with us the lessons it has taught us, the lessons of resilience, of adaptation, of survival in the face of the unknown. The trench may be unseen, but it is no less real. It is a world of silence, of darkness, and of life. And perhaps in the end, it is this world, hidden beneath the waves, that holds the answers to the most profound questions of all. The end.